YouTube, welcome in. It is now time for episode 5 of X's Squad Talk Show. I'm X, here with Austin and Stevo. As of right now, Rasta has not shown up, so he is absent this week. Um, First things first, we're watching the Rams and Kansas while we're recording. It's in the third quarter, almost just about done with the third quarter. Rams are up 20-17 here in the wild card of the playoffs. Speaking of playoffs, my prediction for the playoffs, I mixed up where teams go in the divisional round. We're actually in the wild card round right now in real life. I mixed up where teams go in the divisional round of the AFC, but either way, I still have the Texans going on to the Super Bowl. Um, so let's start with Stevo's question this week. Stevo's question is, what is the greatest heel turn in wrestling? Is it wrestling or WWE history?
I say WWE. Well, no, wrestling actually. Wrestling. Yeah,
Okay.
technically.
And I will let Austin go first on this one.
All right, so I've got maybe an unexpected one here, but I chose this one not just because I think it was a very effective heel turn, but because it came at exactly the right moment, and I chose Bailey.
Ooh.
Nice.
I chose Bailey partly because how many heel turns have you seen which lead to death? She straight up murdered those poor Bailey buddies during her heel turn. They died. We witnessed death on WWE TV. It was horrible. Children were crying. But at a
Literally.
bigger point, it's just the fact that Bailey was so stagnant as a character. The Hugger character had run its course so much that I'm not even sure if Bailey would still be in the company at this point if she had stayed on her original gimmick, going her original course. So it may not be the greatest of all time for its impact on the industry, but I think it did so much. Just it shows how perfectly a heel turn executed at the right time in the right way can completely rejuvenate somebody's career.
Absolutely. I agree.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely an underrated heel turn, shall we say. Uh, but yeah, that's definitely one that I will always remember. Her current character is a little iffy, but
Yeah. I kind of like the new way that she's going now, though, where she's going a little psycho. Yeah.
yeah,
I'm kind of digging it a little bit.
she's got a little bit of the hugger, a little bit of the murderous, and a little bit of whatever was afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Hello, Kitty. Um, I'm gonna
This
have to.
Mama wanted to say hi.
Meow meow.
Hi.
Nice. I'm gonna have to go before I give mine. There's an honorable mention, and that is when Marty Jannetty jumps through the barbershop window, making you
What
know
an act of cowardice.
exactly uh, making
Yeah.
making Shawn Michaels become the Heartbreak Kid and elevating his career. But in my opinion, the greatest heel turn of all time has to be the Third Man. I mean, Hulk Hogan turning his back on all the fans and the whole industry. There's really nothing else to be said. Uh, WrestleMania. I'm sure other YouTubers have said it. Um, yeah, there's just it is the greatest of all time. It will always be number one in everybody's heart. Well, it'll be number one in Gen X and Millennial hearts.
Yeah.
That's entirely fair, I'd say.
Nice.
on the Steve-O.
Well, for me, I mean, I of course I can't disagree with you on Hulk Hogan turning his back on the fans and informing the NWO for life. That will absolutely go down as the greatest heel turn of all time in a lot of people's books, a lot of in our era. Well, for me, I'm gonna actually say it's when the Mega Powers broke up with Macho Man Randy Savage. I believe that even though they buried Macho Man the way that they did in WrestleMania 5, in my opinion, Macho Man should have never lost that match to Hulk Hogan. Macho Man was just starting to get back to his peak at that time when he turned heel on Hogan. And I don't think that Macho Man should have lost at WrestleMania 5. I think he should have retained the title against Hulk Hogan. I think Hogan should have lost and passed it on to Savage because, okay, yeah, Hulkamania, blah, blah, blah. Everybody felt bad for Hulk Hogan. Yeah, well, what about Macho Man? What about Macho Man? Seriously, I mean, that led to Macho King Randy Savage afterwards, but to me, I've got to say the Mega Powers heel turn with Macho Man was my heel turn of all time.
Another, in my opinion, very underrated heel turn. Uh, the Mega Powers exploding. I didn't realize it was WrestleMania 5, but
Well,
yeah,
it happened at Saturday night's main event. Remember when Macho to go dive through the rope, Miss Elizabeth, and then Hogan picked her up and walked away with her to the training area and left Savage by himself.
yeah.
And then Savage went in the back and attacked Hogan, and then it led to WrestleMania 5, their big match, which I still don't think Macho Man should have lost.
I remember
I'm
everything
in
except the
complete
match
agreement.
itself. But yeah, absolutely in 100% agreement. Uh, it should have been Savage this time. Hogan was Hogan was on top long enough at that time. He should have been
Yep.
chopped down a peg.
Yeah, they should have knocked him down. Yeah, knocked him down a peg and said, "Here you go, Macho, have your time." But they never gave it to him, which I think was completely wrong.
That should have been his second reign as champion.
Yeah, should have been a second reign as champion because he was champ. Yeah, should have been a second reign.
And I personally was never a fan of the Macho King. Um, I don't
Yeah,
think, and if he had won, maybe Macho King wouldn't have happened, and my heel Hogan would have happened first. Heel
yeah,
Hogan in the World Wrestling Federation would have been interesting in a different timeline.
absolutely.
All right, on to second. The second um, topic. Oh, which topic do we do? I know which topics we do. We go.
I was going to make the comment at the intro. Fans are going to get to see my heartbreak in real time.
Ooh, I hope not.
Your boys are driving right now.
Holy crap, yes, we are.
I see nothing. All I'm seeing is people posting on it. But let's go with our Mount Rushmore of current wide receivers. That would be my question of the week. Top four wide receivers. And let's go with Steve-O for first on this one.
All right, so top 4 wide receivers of currently right now.
Current day.
All right. So I'm gonna go with for my number 1 guy. I'm gonna go with Puka Nakua because that man is just nasty. I love that guy. He's that guy. I don't care what anybody says. That guy is one hell of a receiver. I love his style. I love his routes. I love the way he moves on the field, gets open, makes plays happen. So definitely number 1 is Puka. Just I'm gonna say for my number 2 guy, I'm gonna have to go with Christian Watson.
Ooh,
I like Christian Watson. I believe he's a very talented wide receiver. For my number 3, Jamar Chase.
okay.
I do like Jamar Chase a lot. He is a great, great receiver. Man makes plays happen as well. And for my number 4, well, I mean, you're probably going to be shocked on this one, but it's actually another Ram. So I'm going to go with Devontae Adams. That man is another receiver on the top of my list.
Yep.
He played well in Green Bay. He played well. He played well no matter where he went. When him and Aaron Rodgers were the connection in Green Bay, those two were unstoppable. They really were. They truly were. So those are my 4 current top wide receivers.
Did he really play well everywhere though? I don't know if he played well in Vegas
Well, not in the Jets. He didn't play. He didn't play too well in New York. But
or on
for
the
the
Raiders.
Packers, all the Raiders. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I did forget about the Raiders. Yeah,
The Raiders may have like destroyed that man's will to live. However, he was still productive for as long as it wasn't Jimmy Garoppolo throwing him the ball. He was productive.
yeah, absolutely.
That's a great top four. Um, I don't know if me personally, I would put you know anybody above Jamar Chase, but uh, on to Austin, your top four,
All
sir.
right, so my top four, it is a fair amount of recency bias with some of them, but number one overall, I'm not just a homer. I've got to go with Puka Nakua. The man makes catches that don't seem human. They remind you of the classic of Randy Moss type catches, of Julio Jones type catches. Um, at least on 2 or 3 occasions while watching a Rams game, you will hear me say, "Oh my God, Puka Nakua," because of a catch that he has made. His yards
Yeah,
after carry, how physical he is. He is the heart and soul of that offense. And it's absolutely insane that I always like to remind people that man was a 5th round draft pick. Nobody knew who he was coming out of college. You had to listen to the commentators for the first few weeks of his rookie season calling Puka Nakua because nobody knew who he was or how his name was pronounced. Um, yeah, he's my number one. Number two, I'm glad that you brought him up. I've got to go with Jamar Chase. Uh, Jamar Chase, the man's if he's in a clicking offense, he's going to be one of the best receivers in the league. Man won the Triple Crown, uh, and I'd say in even more convincing fashion than Cooper Kupp did a few years back. Um, the fact that he managed to still be productive even without Joe Burrow throwing him the ball for the majority of this season. Uh, there's a reason the meme actually holds a lot of truth to it of, F it, Jamar down there somewhere. Because he's going to get the ball and he's going to manage to score most of the time. My number three, I feel like this year you got to cut him a lot of slack because look at who's been throwing him the ball. But I got to go with Jettas. I got to go with Justin Jefferson. Um, I think this year did a really good job of showing how essential he is to the Vikings offense because they could not click when he was not catching the ball. Um, you had some people that could try to pull their own weight, but the fact is they were not winning games because Jettas just didn't have that connection with the quarterback. And hopefully JJ can connect with JJ in the coming years because if not, get that man out of Minnesota.
yeah, I agree.
And fourth, I hate to give too much credit to a divisional rival, but Jackson Smith and Jigba is having an incredible year. Um, the man, if he weren't actually pulled in the fourth quarter of a lot of games, there's a very good chance that he would be either chasing or have already gotten the Triple Crown this year. He would have had some catching up to do as far as touchdowns, but he, I think, has really shown that losing DK Metcalf, losing, these offensive players for the Seahawks, really wasn't that big of a deal. And I think he's a huge part of why the Seahawks have managed to bounce back and be the number one seed this year and be such a contender.
Nice. Great
Absolutely.
for.
Yeah, JSN is not on my list. However, definitely a great wide receiver in the current era. Um, I'm gonna
By the
take my
way, Austin, your boys
I
just
did
took
see
the lead.
Kyron Williams. Yeah, Kyron Williams with the touchdown.
Just took the lead.
Kyron Williams.
Little interjection. I love the way the Rams backs run because they're all little guys, so they just always run angry.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah,
Angry
they
runs.
do.
Angry runs are always fun. So I'm gonna take my top four and I'm gonna do it backwards. I'm gonna go from 4 to 1. So number 4, I have Malik Nabers because regardless of who's throwing him the ball, he makes it look effortless. Um, the types of catches he can have, sideline grabs he got. Uh, Unfortunately, this season he's been injured since week like 3, I think. Maybe been
Yeah, I
4,
think
but
three. Yeah,
I mean, if you look at his stats, I'm sure I did not look at his stats, but if you look at his stats, I'm sure his stats are very high. Like he's definitely in that elite category of wide receiver for
right.
him. Um, and I mean, I guess just wearing number 1 or number 9, but mostly number 1, uh, just shows that he wants to be number 1. Number 3 on my list, though, where's number 3? And that is George Pickens. George Pickens, he might have been a diva up in Pittsburgh, but now down in Dallas, he's got into his role very nicely. Whether he's wide receiver 2, wide receiver 1, doesn't matter. Him and CeeDee Lamb are a force to be reckoned with going forward.
Oh no, I agree. I agree with that completely. Well, he found some magic with Prescott. He really
Absolutely,
did.
Fourth
absolutely.
place for me came down to Pickens or JSN.
There we go. Uh, that Pickens contested catches, sideline catches, amazing. Like he should not have caught that catches. Uh, George Pickens is definitely one of my favorite wide receivers. Obviously, so is Malik Nabers. Um, number 2, I have Puka Nakua. Same as y'all. I definitely. I mean, if somebody doesn't have Puka on their top 4 or 5, either they're a rampader or they don't know ball. Um, because especially long haired Puka. I remember Austin coming up to me going, "The league is not ready for long haired Puka." And guess what, Austin? You were right. The league was
Yeah,
not
he was.
ready.
The more
Uh,
he looks like a member of the bloodline, the more dangerous he is.
Yeah, you're right.
exactly, exactly. Um, but of course, you might call me a homer. You might whatever, call me whatever you want. Number 1, Jamar Chase.
Of
He just
course.
he makes he makes Joe Burrow look even better than he already is every year. He even makes the backups, Joe Flacco, uh, the others, JP.
Jake Browning.
Thank you. Um, he makes them all look better than they are. I mean, Joe Burrow is obviously great, but if he wasn't throwing to people like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, he wouldn't look as great. So there's
You
my
know,
4.
I'm surprised that out of all of our lists, I thought one of us would have mentioned Zay Flowers. from Baltimore. I forgot about him. He's been having a great season this year with Lamar, Mr. Flowers. So I'm kind of shocked that none of us had him. But yeah, I just thought about him and I was like, oh, wait a minute, I forgot about him.
Zay Flowers is
So
great.
I do like Yeah, I do like Flowers a lot, and I think he's done a lot to because I think he's going to be a free agent either this year or coming up very soon. The dude is going to get paid somewhere to be wide receiver one. I don't know if that's going to be in Baltimore or where it's going to be, but for me, he is right on that like periphery where he is like on the sort of George Pickens level where you could slot him into fourth place, but
Yep.
uh, I don't see him reaching like number one or number two. He is a
No.
phenomenal receiver, and there are like a ton of guys that could have made their way onto this list. Like the fact that none of us mentioned, um, oh dear, how am I completely blanking on this? Um, CD Lamb. Granted, he missed time, but
Yep.
CD could have easily slotted into fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got great receivers all across the league that are on that periphery level.
I mean, even Stephon Diggs or Keyshawn Booty, but more Stephon Diggs. I just like Booty
Yeah.
personally, but I did not put him on my top 4 for reasons of he's literally not elite level. Stephon Diggs could very well be up there as well as far as Patriots receivers go, and he came from the Packers. No, not the Packers, the Vikings. He came from the Vikings as well, and he was straight in Minnesota.
Yep.
He had his time in Buffalo as well, where he could have elevated everybody else. I just had to mention KJ Booty. You know, he's one of
Yeah.
my favorites, partially because of his name. Who doesn't like a little booty? Um, on to the next. The main event of this week is Austin's question of what is the most glaring omission of the WWE Hall of Fame? And if you're like me and you want to Google omission, don't worry about it. We got you. It's who's not there, who should be, pretty much. And I'm gonna start with me this time. Um, I'm gonna go with Demolition, Axe, and Smash. And screw it, why not? Add Crush in there. Uh, the only reason they're not in there right now is because they have legal troubles with Vince McMahon. Uh, they are they are definitely one of the greatest tag teams of all time in WWE history. They have the now second longest run as tag team champions, thanks to Vince wanting to make the New Day, which he could have picked a better team than the New Day to do it, but thanks to Vince wanting to make the New Day the new longest reigning tag team champions of all time, um, Axe and Smash and Crush should definitely be in everybody's top 5, top 10. I'll give people that top 10 tag teams of all time, and it's almost a travesty that they are not in the Hall of Fame yet.
Yep. Yeah. I can't disagree with you on that because that was going to be my answer too. I got to go with Axe and Smash Demolition as well. I agree that they should be in there. They should be in the Hall of Fame. Granted, like you said, they have legal troubles with Vince and everything like that. But I mean, if they're not in your top 10 of greatest tag teams in wrestling, then I mean, I just I've got to agree with you on this one, X. I'm gonna have to say Demolition as well because yeah, they should be in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, I know there are people who don't care about tag team wrestling, like Vince or the better half. She does. She really doesn't care about tag team wrestling either. But
No,
what were you about to say, Austin?
I was just going to say that the fact that they kept a New Day run that I love the New Day, but a run that was very much past its expiration date. They kept it going just so they could knock Demolition out of the history books like that. It is just it's a travesty. It's disgusting, and they absolutely deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, and they deserve to be in while they're still able to be inducted alive.
Absolutely. And
exactly.
I think the worst part is they made it pretty much like pretty obvious that they were doing it in spite of demolition.
Yeah, no, you're right. I agree.
Your turn, Austin. Who is your answer to your question?
All right. So if you look at the WWE Hall of Fame, you will see a lot of people missing from that hallowed hall in the sky in our minds that deserve to be there. There's groups like the Jumping Bomb Angels. There's people that have dedicated and given so much of themselves to this craft. However, I'm not going with a wrestler. I'm not even necessarily going with a manager. I think that the one person who should be in the WWE Hall of Fame that I cannot believe that she isn't every time it comes up is Cyndi Lauper. The Rock and Wrestling Connection, that one was such a huge part of creating the biggest boom that wrestling ever experienced. Uh, the 80s were owned in wrestling by Hulk Hogan and by Cyndi Lauper. She was ringside at the first WrestleMania. She was heavily involved in the storyline going into it. Uh, and honestly, if Kid Rock can go into the Hall of Fame, so can Cyndi Lauper, and Cyndi Lauper should have been a long time ago.
I'm gonna do you one better. If Donald Trump can go into the Hall of Fame, Cyndi Lauper should already be there.
You are absolutely right, sir.
Yeah,
The
absolutely.
Devin Hester of the WWE Hall of Fame, because
She,
he's
Like
the one that
I,
everybody is going to go. Well, if he's there,
exactly.
that answer, that answer right there completely blew my mind. And you know something? He is actually 1,000% right. I
Yep. Absolutely.
completely agree with him. Absolutely. Why isn't Cyndi Lauper in the Hall of Fame? Seriously.
Absolutely. You said that, and I was like, wait, she's not there. Like,
Yeah,
I,
I thought,
I feel like it should
yeah,
have been gone conclusion. Like, she should have.
yeah, I, wow, yeah, that man is 1,000% right. Get Cyndi Lauper in the damn Hall of Fame.
To be fair
so
though,
airing my own personal grievance, Cyndi Lauper is kind of like my own Tory Holt, because Tory Holt is someone that I look at in the NFL Hall of Fame that I'm like, how is Tory Holt not in? Tory Holt should have been in years ago, and every time that it comes up that he's not, it just pisses me off. Cyndi Lauper is the exact same way.
Yeah.
there's one difference between Tori Holt and Cindy Hopper, uh, Cyndi Lauper. I agree with Cyndi Lauper. I don't fully agree with Tori Holt. Tori Holt was great in his day, but Cyndi Lauper absolutely should be in the Hall of Fame. Um, so should Demolition. Um, what do you think? Do you think Cyndi Lauper should be in the Hall of Fame? Do you think Demolition should be in the Hall of Fame? Do you is Puka Nakua and Jamaches in your top four current wide receivers? And what is your favorite WWE, WWF, WCW wrestling heel turn of all time? Comment down below. Let us know your answers, and we'll see you in the next one.
Later, guys.